Recall that Angel Reese was an NCAA champion, a social media superstar, and a talented WNBA player with an exceptionally bright future when she was at her best.
I'm just really happy for this organization, obviously. Look at these fans, they're incredible, so if it wasn't for them, I don't know if we'd...
But today, her world is very different. With her career in ruins, Reese risks a lifetime ban from the WNBA.
And so you knew they were going to come for you. You had to know that. Now, to the degree that they're doing so, I get where you're coming from.
How could such a sharp decline occur so rapidly? What went wrong?
The WNBA is rocking. What could we have more? I just think, from a salary standpoint.
Let's go back to the video.
Chicago Sky said goodbye to Teresa Weatherspoon, saying that it was time to, quote, make a change.
See the incredible turns that turned Angel Reese from a rising star to a WNBA exile as we dissect her journey from her position as a college basketball superstar to her startling fall from grace in the professional world today.
Would Angel Reese prematurely end her rookie season to spare herself the embarrassment of losing Rookie of the Year to Caitlin Clark?
Let's take a moment to look back at the time when Angel Reese was acclaimed as the undisputed queen of college basketball. I promise you that this story is more outrageous than any game-winning buzzer beater you have ever seen. Reese was a tremendous force of nature in the NCAA, overpowering her opponents on the court, destroying records, and trash-talking her way to the top. Her strong performances left both fans and rivals in awe. Reese was changing the way people thought about basketball in addition to playing the game, but then things took an unexpected turn. When Reese joined the WNBA, she was having trouble right away. She could hardly score double figures in half of her games, which is very different from when she was in college. It's strange to watch her now because she misses shots that were once easily made, and even stranger as she struggles. Caitlin Clark is effortlessly taking center stage and breaking rookie records.
But sometimes it's very disrespectful. I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it.
But she's pretending like there is something there. There's one person who is driving all this, and it's Angel Reese.
Caitlin Clark's entry into the Professional Basketball League has been nothing short of spectacular. Both spectators and seasoned players are taking notice of her confident and reliable play. Experienced players are jealous of Clark's great stats in each game, as they are astounded by her smooth transition to the professional ranks. The contrast between these two former college stars is so stark that it almost seems as though Clark snatched Angel Reese's mojo, leaving Reese suffering in her wake. Reese, who was once a college powerhouse, is now under a lot of pressure. She has tried everything to get back on track, including pretending to be injured and using the race card against Clark, but nothing seems to be working. Her tactics are starting to turn off teammates and fans alike, and her gameplay isn't getting better. Every time she takes the court, her desperation is terrible to see because she knows her efforts are failing, but this is where things take an even darker turn as a result of growing despair. Reese decided to take steroids in the hopes that it would provide her with the competitive advantage she needed to stay up with Clark. Surprisingly, the player who was once destined for WNBA greatness turned to cheating. The worst part is that even after using steroids, Reese was still unable to duplicate her college success or compete on Clark's level. Rather than reviving her career, this reckless move only accelerated her decline. The juice didn't make her a star again. Instead, it made her professional life even more chaotic and resulted in her lifetime ban.
Attention. You were being an attention whore. And so, because your basketball couldn't do it, you went to other things.
This narrative serves as a warning on the risks associated with using shortcuts to succeed. The desperate decision made by Angel Reese to turn to steroids was just the start of a much larger scandal. How does a college basketball standout who was once at the peak of her game now find it difficult to make it in the professional ranks? Surprisingly, the response includes a surprising number. Reese's coach for the Chicago Sky was Teresa Weatherspoon, a renowned WNBA legend. Weatherspoon was meant to be a guiding light as Reese made the difficult transition from college star to professional athlete, but their relationship took a darker turn, revealing unanticipated pressures and choices that would ultimately change both of their careers.
Well, I need to call you the female version of Steph Curry, or do I need to call Steph Curry the male version of Caitlin Clark? I mean, which one is it?
I think more than anything, it's like surprising. Like, you guys didn't know, like, this is how women's sports are played. Like, come on.
Rather than assisting Angel Reese in adjusting to the WNBA's fast-paced environment, Teresa Weatherspoon reportedly made a decision that astounded both players and spectators. It's difficult to accept that a reputable Hall of Fame coach would turn to giving performance-enhancing medications, but that's just what was stated. Edley took place. As Caitlin Clark broke rookie records and Reese struggled on the court, Weatherspoon, whose legacy as a famous player appeared untouchable, risked everything to try to save Reese's struggling rookie season. The impact on the Chicago Sky locker room was disastrous. Imagine being one of Weatherspoon's other players who diligently trained and played by the rules only to discover that the coach seemed solely focused on helping Reese through unethical means. Weatherspoon decided that the only way to compete was to cheat, but this wasn't just a case of turning a blind eye. It was alleged that she actively encouraged Reese to start using steroids to keep pace with Clark's success. Team chemistry was totally destroyed, trust was non-existent, and morale fell. The Sky season quickly came to an end, with coaches and players blaming one another for the mounting losses. The team's performance suffered due to Reese's declining reputation, and Weatherspoon's legacy was left in ruins.
So, Caitlin Clark, if you're out there, you are one of the GOATs of our games, and we appreciate you.
Yes, sir! Yeah, baby!
Players are irritated. It's like witnessing a car accident in slow motion, only this time it's a basketball career going south, and the worst thing is that fans are confused, and the front office is probably trying to make sense of it all. Weatherspoon risked her own hard-earned reputation to help Reese in the hopes that steroids would improve her performance, but the gamble backfired completely. Instead of making Reese a WNBA superstar, the steroids only made her problems worse by making her cheat and risk more obvious. In the end, Reese was still outperformed by Caitlin Clark and was given a devastating lifetime ban. The WNBA has never experienced a drug scandal of this size before, leaving the league stunned, and Reese's scandal was just the start.
If you're her coach and you care about her, you're not doing this. You shouldn't be making the focus another statistic.
Angel Reese is the villain, Caitlin Clark is the hero, and Angel Reese continued to play into it last night by getting ejected, and it's almost like it's all scripted.
How well did the league handle the situation? Let's just say that after Reese was caught juicing Weatherspoon, which was allegedly supporting her, and the Chicago Sky's season collapsed, things quickly got out of control. The WNBA decided to take drastic measures and gave Reese a lifetime ban. Yes, a straight-up permanent ban, basically telling her that she would never play professional basketball again. This may seem extreme, but the WNBA had never dealt with a steroid scandal of this size before, and they wanted to send a clear message that protecting its integrity meant taking unprecedented action. Reese's situation became a stark illustration of the league's zero-toll policy regarding performance-enhancing drugs.
To the season, and when I was in my press conference and I was talking about being sexualized, like, I guess people thought that was like because I post pictures in my bathing suits. No, like
a representation of us as women in many different departments. That's important for women to see that no matter what it is that we want to become, we can.
The shocking story of a star rookie and a respected Hall of Fame coach conspiring to cheat the system is more than just a player accidentally taking a banned supplement. The WNBA has been working hard to gain new fans and establish itself as a serious professional league, but this scandal has put a dent in their plans. How did Reese's use of steroids and Weatherspoon enabling affect the Chicago Sky's chances of making the playoffs? Prepare yourself. The Sky, who were formerly thought to be serious playoff contenders, fell to the bottom of the standings virtually overnight and finished the season with a dreadful 13-27 record, far from contending for the playoffs. The impact extends beyond a single team's collapse, even though it seems like a championship-caliber team changed into a struggling high school squad. Basketball fans are now questioning whether what they're witnessing on the court is authentic, whether each player's talent is real, or whether there are other instances of performance-enhancing drugs hiding beneath the surface. It's similar to the disappointment of learning that Santa isn't real and Reyes isn't leaving quietly. Instead, she's retaliating, pointing fingers and making accusations in an effort to bring others down with her. It's like watching a toddler have a tantrum, only this time it's a professional athlete whose actions are damaging not only her career, but also the reputations of everyone involved.
Now people are calling you out on it when you post things like this on social media.
Although many people don't want to give Angel her credit, there's no doubt that the hero versus villain story is working in the WNBA's favor as well as Caitlin Clark's favor.
The WNBA is in full damage control mode, but instead of talking about player numbers and game highlights, they're frantically conducting press conferences and making comments, which is like trying to put out a forest fire with a pistol. The real harm has already been done. While the league tries to refocus the conversation on basketball, fans are suddenly obsessed with steroids and scandals, but the reality behind the scenes is different. Even Reese's harshest critics couldn't have predicted the shocking events and social media meltdown that followed her career's abrupt turn from college basketball glory to a lifetime WNBA ban in record time. How does a young star go from NCAA champion to WNBA outcast in less than a year? Her hopes were dashed in an instant. Weatherspoon, who formerly had a stellar reputation, isn't doing any better. Years of respect and recognition as a WNBA legend have all vanished, apparently overnight, and her coaching career is in ruins. Her legacy was damaged, and admirers now recall the scandal that signaled her decline from grace more than her amazing plays. It's like seeing a house of cards fall apart, with each card removing years of hard work in a single stroke.
The old heads, the ones who are petty, the ones who are jealous, the ones who can't get on the new wave is what is continuing to hold the league back.
Think was gonna happen, honestly. Work on look, Angel Reese has got some basketball skills. She does.
The Chicago Sky are left to pick up the pieces and rebuild their team and reputation from scratch after Angel Reese's career was so drastically ruined. It's as if they're starting from zero, but with a huge asterisk hanging over their heads. Fans are doubtful, sponsors are retreating, and the front office is working nonstop to clean up the mess. What's more, following her suspension, Reese went on a furious social media rampage, attacking everyone in the league, including her rival Caitlin Clark. It was like watching a train wreck happen in real time, with Reese sharing private messages, posting rants, and leveling accusations at everyone. The WNBA is dealing with a massive PR disaster as they attempt to demonstrate that they can handle a controversy of this kind, much like the NBA does. But let's face it, this implosion has everyone's attention and is a spectacle that the public cannot ignore. The league is making announcements, calling emergency meetings, and attempting to put out fires at every turn, but it appears they are never able to take back control of the narrative and are constantly one step behind Reese's most recent tweet.